Hello everyone, I am Julian Morris with the Channel 5 News. In the headlines, Dominica launches SACAFET campaign targeting tourists from the CARICOM travel bubble. The Ministry of Health to administer only COVID-19 vaccines approved by the World Health Organization. And over 30 arrests so far as police continue their border patrol protecting the country from imported cases of COVID-19. The details coming up.
We are strong, we are resilient, and we will get through this together. But these are stressful times, and it's important to also practice good self-care. It's normal to feel overwhelmed, anxious, or afraid, but there is hope. Reach out to someone, connect with your friends, stay in touch with your community, and know that you are not alone. We're in this together. This is a public service announcement from the Dominica Red Cross.
Flow helps you stay connected to what matters. Simple plans and a better network mean that you can enjoy 7 days of unlimited social messaging, 3 gigabytes of reliable data to use as you like, 700 local anywhere calls and texts, with the always-on prepaid plan, all for $29. Keep your number when you switch to Dominica's most reliable LTE network. Buy wherever you top up. Switch to Flow. It only gets better.
First up in the news, the Discover Dominica Authority launches yet another campaign to entice visitors from the CARICOM travel bubble to the island. Andrea Louis has that story.
On Thursday, the DDA launched its SACAFET campaign targeting people from the CARICOM travel bubble and low-risk countries within the region. Back in October, the DDA launched the Safe in Nature brand concept, an initiative encouraging individuals from high-risk countries to visit Dominica for a managed experience. Director of Tourism and CEO of the Discover Dominica Authority, Colin Piper, says the country has partnered with 2 airlines for the SACAFET campaign.
The campaign objective is really to encourage travel from the CARICOM travel bubble and low-risk classified destinations to experience what Dominica has to offer. To date, though, Barbados is the only destination within the CARICOM travel bubble and the destination with direct or non-stop flights into Dominica. While we are served by as many as 7 airlines, we are partnering with 2 airlines on this campaign, which provide non-stop service between Barbados and Dominica. The 2 airlines are Caribbean Airlines and Inter-Caribbean Airways. Currently, Caribbean Airlines is scheduled to fly between Barbados and Dominica on Thursdays and Saturdays, and Inter-Caribbean on Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Fridays.
Currently, there are 12 properties approved for the SACAFET campaign, while 32 are approved for the Safe in Nature brand concept. Destination Marketing Manager for the DDA, Melinda Hassel, says this campaign is ideal for visitors who want to have a short stay in the country.
So we are excited to launch the SACAFET campaign and welcome visitors from the Caribbean to experience Dominica, the nature island. SACAFET, which means, translated from Creole, what's up, was a fitting theme for inviting visitors to Dominica. It highlights Dominica's rich and vibrant culture, and it's geared at stimulating travel to Dominica, sending the message that we are open for business. So we welcome you to experience What's Up in Dominica, where you can immerse yourself in the depths of nature's beauty and get a taste of endless adventures that await, or explore a country beloved by those seeking authentic Caribbean culture and a world of relaxation for the mind, body, and soul.
The low-risk countries which are eligible for the SACAFET campaign are St. Vincent and the Grenadines, Grenada, St. Kitts and Nevis, Montserrat, Anguilla, the Cayman Islands, Bermuda, the BVI, the Turks and Caicos Islands, and Antigua and Barbuda. As regards visitors from the French West Indies, Hassel says it might be possible to have travelers from these countries participate in the Safe in Nature campaign later this month.
The French West Indies, which is right now the Martinique and Guadeloupe market, we are waiting for December 15th to see what will happen with the new protocols. If they become more lenient, then they will be included to travel more easily to the island under high-risk conditions, high-risk classification. So they will have to do the Safe in Nature at this point. but we are waiting for, after December 15th, to hear a bit more what happens with the protocols.
The SACA-FET campaign runs until February 2021. Andrea Louis, Channel 5 News.
Chief Medical Officer Dr. David Johnson says only vaccines approved by the World Health Organization will be distributed in Dominica. He says the Ministry of Health is confident that all procedures are in place for successfully introducing the vaccine when it becomes available.
A national COVID-19 technical committee is being established to deal with all issues as it relates to the COVID-19 vaccine in Dominica. And this committee comprises senior staff from the Ministry of Health and Wellness, senior staff from other relevant ministries, including there'll be representative from the Attorney General Chambers, and it will also include major NGOs, non-governmental organizations. This National Technical Committee will report on the progress made in the plans and implementation of the COVID-19 vaccine in Dominica. So this technical committee is the critical body for the successful planning, coordination, and implementation of the vaccine. In addition to that, we'll also have, in fact, we have also established in the Ministry of Health a technical working group which has been established, which will provide, it's in fact providing support to this National Technical Committee, is advising on resources that are essential for program implementation, and participate, very importantly, in monitoring and evaluation of all the mechanisms for immunization program for the vaccine. We are also establishing other subcommittees to ensure that when the vaccine is introduced, that everything will run as smoothly as possible. So there are other committees that are being introduced, which will deal with service delivery, issues relating to the vaccine cold chain and other logistics, looking at issues related to safety, including injury prevention and monitoring. Whenever any vaccine is introduced in Dominica, we always monitor through the guidance of the WHO, the Pan American Health Organization, what is referred to as adverse events following immunization.
The Ministry of Health will give priority to certain populations in distributing the vaccine.
Selection of the target population to be vaccinated is guided by the recommendation made by the Pan American Health Organization Advisory Group, and also looking at our present COVID situation. So presently, the intention is to vaccinate the following priority groups. When the vaccine becomes available, our frontline healthcare workers, our first responders, including fire and ambulance, our police, customs, and immigration, who are all frontline workers. Very importantly, persons with chronic diseases, to include patients who have cancer, hypertension, diabetes, or persons with chronic kidney problems, and our elderly, persons over 65 years old. In terms of strategies for delivering timely vaccination, the vaccine will be ordered utilizing what we refer to as forecast demand for vaccine, which we normally do using a PAHO revolving fund under which we currently procure our vaccines. We'll be liaising with the Pan American Health Organization on vaccines that are approved under the COVAX facility.
Vaccination will be done at the primary healthcare facilities, hospitals, elderly care facilities, and private clinics. Business owners and residents in Soufriere and Scott said pleased with the ongoing works to construct a birthing jetty in that community. Here again is Andrea Louis with more.
Last week, government held a groundbreaking ceremony for the construction of the over $500,000 birthing jetty in Soufriere. Simon Walsh, owner of Nature Island Dive and former president of the Dominica Hotel and Tourism Association and the Dominica Water Sports Association, says this jetty is a welcome development for the community.
I'm very, very excited to see it come about. It's going to be I think it's one of the most important things this community needs for evacuation, for fishermen, for tourism, the kids to play on. I mean, it's going to be used every single day. It's going to be a very integral part of building this community. So extremely excited and congratulations, because I really think this is a great thing for Soufriere.
Sam Raphael, proprietor of Jungle Bay Resort and Spa, now located in Monacuma, Soufriere, after being relocated from Point Milatin, Dalis due to destruction by Tropical Storm Erica in 2015, says the jetty will be useful in time of disaster.
We're really delighted. This has been a long-awaited project. It's going to be significant to us as a business. It will help certainly the fisher folks here to be able to have a more consistent catch. For us, it is also probably more important from a security standpoint. For us now, knowing that we only have one road to Roseau from Soufriere, it's great that we have a jetty on the Caribbean side that in the unlikely event we need to use it for emergency purposes, that it's there.
Fishermen in the Soufriere area also weighed in on the construction of the berthing jetty.
Yeah, we got in difficulty right now. We only come from the sea. We had to put the fish on the gravel. We had to put a tarpaulin down and all kind of thing, and then we had to carry it inside our boat house. So now we got in the jetty. It's a good thing for us.
I can remember one time in my youth, they used to have a wooden one there. And not hurricane, but from old age at the time of Elrose, that gone. But I'm very much excited about that one. And I hope it just continue until, well, that will be a growth. For instance, that will be a growth, a development for the area, and again for the fishermen.
National epidemiologist Dr. Shaladdin Ahmed says Dominica's fight against the COVID-19 pandemic is moving in the right direction. In Wednesday's Minister of Health COVID-19 update, Dr. Ahmed said there were 6 active cases currently.
Over the past week, we have had 2 new cases. They are Dominicans who returned from the USA. One is a 14-year-old male and the other one is a 45-year-old female. They are asymptomatic. One of them was identified at the airport following rapid testing, and the second one was identified at the quarantine facility following the day 5 testing. In total, 81 cases have successfully recovered and have been discharged from the COVID center. There are no deaths to date. Since the opening of the border on July 15, a total of 69 cases were detected using the PCR method. It should be noted that of these cases, 85% were detected through active surveillance. That is to say, they were detected through on-arrival screening, contact tracing, and routine screening of suspected cases. Our progress so far is very good indication that we are in right direction in fight against COVID. That means protocols that we have implemented, such as risk stratification during the pre-travel screening, on-arrival screening at the airport, and day 5 screening, as well as surveillance activities including contact tracing and community testing are working, and they are working well.
Community testing resumes next week.
Our target of population includes elderly folks in the nursing care setting, frontline workers at the Douglas Charles Airport, contact tracing team members in primary care, including staff at the quarantine facility, bus drivers, and other selected communities like the fisher folks in Forseza, in Woodford Hill, and Dewick community. Now, this community testing will be conducted using the serology method. That is an antibody testing method, and a total of 400 tests will be conducted. The objective of this exercise is to detect the level of exposure to the COVID virus in the community, as well as to detect the affected subgroup if any at all.
This is Channel 5 News. Coming up, the registry tells marriage officers to comply with the Marriage Act.
A new in-home experience is here. All your services bundled into one simple plan. Faster, more reliable Wi-Fi so that you can binge, play, and stream uninterrupted. Unlimited flow local landline minutes mean you can talk and talk and talk. Plus the best in TV entertainment with over 120 channels and 29 in HD, all for $160 a month with the new all-in bundle. With Flow, it only gets better.
We are strong, we are resilient, and we will get through this together. But these are stressful times, and it's important to also practice good self-care. It's normal to feel overwhelmed, anxious, or afraid, but there is hope. Reach out to someone, connect with your friends, stay in touch with your community, and know that you are not alone. We're in this together. This is a public service announcement from the Dominica Red Cross.
Police reporting a number of arrests and convictions since they started patrolling Dominica's borders in an effort to protect the country from illegal entry and importation of the COVID-19 virus. Over 30 arrests have been made so far.
13 vessels and $34,000 EC have been seized. 36 individuals so far have been arrested for illegal entry. Out of the 36 individuals arrested, 9 have been found guilty and sentenced. I wish to appeal to the public to continue to provide to the police information which will lead to the successful prosecution of persons involved in illegal entry and exit from Dominica.
The police has issued a special warning to the public in light of the Christmas season, saying protocols on crowds must also be maintained during this time.
The Christmas season is usually an occasion for many festive activities. But in the advent of COVID-19, everyone must be exceptionally cautious. Therefore, persons are advised to be guided by the protocols regarding gatherings. The police are expected to have a more visible presence on the streets to discourage any unwearing of masks and to encourage and enforce the wearing of these masks in a public place and in buildings, as well as to disperse large gatherings of 200 people or more. I wish to remind that the penalty for not wearing masks is $75.
An appeal to the relevant officials to comply with the country's Marriage Act. The appeal from Acting Registrar of the Supreme Court, Marie-Thérèse Etienne. Etienne urged the respective marriage officers to comply with the country's Marriage Act and provide the necessary registers to the Registrar General. To date, over 100 marriages have been registered in Dominica. However, this does not reflect an accurate number as the required documents have not been submitted to the registry.
This, however, does not include the marriages which may have been solemnized by religious ministers, since in many instances the duplicate registers have not yet been submitted to the Registrar General. Accordingly, I wish to take the opportunity to urge the respective marriage officers throughout the island to ensure greater compliance with the Marriage Act, which requires that every 3 months within each year, what is referred to as the duplicate original registered should be submitted to the Registrar General in accordance with law.
Etienne, who disclosed figures from January to mid-November, said the registration of some deaths and births have not yet been completed.
For the period of January 2020 to date, the Civil Registry has recorded 472 deaths in the Commonwealth of Dominica. The registration of 337 of these deaths have been completed by the relatives and of the deceased, and so death certificates are available and can be issued to the public. 668 births have thus far been recorded at the civil registry. The registration of 390 of these births have been completed by the parents, and so their certificates are available for issue. However, the registration of 278 of these births have not been completed by the parents.
The acting registrar says the processing of some certificates now takes place at a much faster rate, which is a great improvement for the registry.
In fact, the civil registry converted what was a serious challenge brought upon by the pandemic into a triumph, and took advantage of this opportunity by accelerating the division's previous efforts to commence same-day issuance of life certificates. And so we are indeed elated and proud that from April of this year, 2020, life certificates, which includes births, deaths, and marriage certificates, are processed and issued on the same day.
And the National Security Minister, Reuben Blackmore, says in cases where one is convicted of serious crimes such as murder, terrorism, kidnapping, treason, and the rape of minors, bail ought not to be granted. Blackmore says government has been working steadily for some time on a bail bill, which is expected to be enacted when Parliament meets on Wednesday.
This bill will also outline the condition and procedure for bail and give the court the necessary tools to curtail the movement of offenders, especially if they are considered a flight risk. This bill also proposes that absconding from bail or breaching bail conditions will be treated very seriously, and this type of behavior carries heavy sanctions under the proposed bill. I must say, overall, we are very proud of this legislation and what it intends and seeks to do. This bill will be taken next week at the sitting of Parliament on the 16th day of December 2020.
The National Security Minister says things are about to change in terms of how and why bail is granted or denied.
We have had situations in the past where persons already accused of a serious offense have gone on to commit another serious offense while on bail. This proposed bill seeks to curtail this type of behavior. And the proposed bill also, and it's important to note, will make it more difficult to receive bail from the court, and therefore defines and clearly spell out those serious offenses. And those offenses are worse offenses and impact families and communities most harshly.
Flow helps you stay connected to what matters. Simple plans and a better network mean that you can enjoy 7 days of unlimited social messaging, 3 gigabytes of reliable data to use as you like, 700 local anywhere calls and texts with the always-on prepaid plan, all for $29. Keep your number when you switch to Dominica's most reliable LTE network. Buy wherever you top up. Switch to Flow. It only gets better.
We are strong, we are resilient, and we will get through this together. But these are stressful times, and it's important to also practice good self-care. It's normal to feel overwhelmed, anxious, or afraid, but there is hope. Reach out to someone, connect with your friends, stay in touch with your community, and know that you are not alone. We're in this together. This is a public service announcement from the Dominica Red Cross.
A new in-home experience is here. All your services bundled into one simple plan. Faster, more reliable Wi-Fi so that you can binge, play, and stream uninterrupted. Unlimited Flow local landline minutes mean you can talk and talk and talk. plus the best in TV entertainment with over 120 channels and 29 in HD, all for $160 a month with the new all-in bundle. With Flow, it only gets better.
And to end the news, a look again at the headlines. Dominica launches SACAFET campaign targeting tourists from the Caribbean or CARICOM travel bubble. The Ministry of Health to administer only COVID-19 vaccines approved by the World Health Organization. And over 30 arrests so far as police continue their border patrols protecting the country from imported cases of COVID-19. You may access the news on our YouTube channel. On behalf of the production team, I am Julian Morris. Thank you for watching. Join us tomorrow.